Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Adam Draw Stuff. I'm Adam and I Draw Stuff, and today I'm going to be showing you how to draw this cute and colorful little guy right here. He is going to be pretty quick and simple, so grab your pencil and piece of paper and let's get going. Okay, so to get Squirtle started, I'm going to go ahead and draw two circles right here, and I'm doing it a little bit messy, but that's okay because I'm going to go ahead and fix those lines later. But two circles, one a little bit bigger than the other one. And the top circle here is going to be his head, and then this bottom circle down here is going to be his body. So of course that circle is going to be a little bit bigger than the head, but not a lot, just a little bit bigger. So there is that, and then I'm going to go in back up to the head here and first divide it in half vertically like that. And then on the right hand side, or excuse me, on the left over here on this side, we're going to bring the bottom part of this circle out a little bit and then curve it back around toward the bottom of his head. And then bring this line up and out a little bit back toward the top of his head. And then that way it gives it a little bit more shape to the side of Squirtle's head. To start his face, on this vertical line that we drew, since he is a turtle and he has kind of like a beak shape, we're going to start right on this vertical line and draw sort of a triangle shape like that, resting right there on that line. And one line is going to go out a little bit toward this bulged out part of his head, and then the other one is going to go back toward the other side. Just like that. And then starting here on this, at the end of this longer line, we're going to draw another downward curved line going all the way back around to the other side like that. And then there he has a wide open smiling mouth. Okay, we'll draw a couple nostrils. So there's the mouth done. Now we'll draw a a horizontal line running across his head like that, and this line is going to be a guideline to help us place his eyes. So on each of these lines here, this is going to be the baseline, so that's where the bottom of the eye is going to rest. So we'll start about 2/3 of the way over to the right and draw an oval shape going up and then coming back down to meet about where his mouth ends. And then the bottom is going to be basically just flat. It's just gonna rest on that line there. So it's like a half oval shape. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Goes up and comes back down to meet this other end of his mouth. And then it's gonna rest on that line. And then in each of his eyes, draw another smaller oval for the highlight, and then that weird little horseshoe shape in there for like the shadow part of his eye. Hopefully you can see that all right. Okay, I'm going to darken this a little bit here so you can see it better. Okay, so there is the head basically done. Now I'm going to move on to his arms. So we're going to draw him kind of like, I don't know, in a happy pose or jumping or whatever he's doing. So we're going to draw his arms upward, kind of toward his head. And his arms are just two long ovals, and they're wider toward the bottom, toward where his body is, and they're a little bit more narrow toward the end. And his arms rest right up close to his head. So we'll draw one arm there, and then he's got 3 fingers on each arm. And then his other arm will be a little bit behind his head. So we might only be able to see 2 of his fingers over there. Okay, so there's head, arms, and now we'll move down toward the legs. And to do the legs, we're going to draw one pretty big circle right under his right arm, or I guess this would be his left arm, but it's on our right. Draw a big circle, and this circle should kind of rest on the bottom right side of the circle of his body, just like that. And that's going to be his leg, and then another smaller circle overlapping that one for his foot, and then this one ends in 3 points also. So something like that. And then for his left leg, we're going to do the same thing, but with a half circle shape. And then again, small foot with 3 points at the end. So there is that. So now we'll go ahead and add his shell, and he has most of his shell is going to be not visible, or the back of it at least. It's going to be behind him, but you'll still be able to see a little bit of it. So we'll just draw a little line, a little curve, like a half, sort of a semicircle, right on the side over here. So you can see just a little bit, and then his shell has kind of like this wavy rim on it. So we'll draw that in there too, between his arm and his leg. And we'll draw the pattern here on the bottom too, or on the underside of his shell. And to do that, we're going to draw a horizontal line between his 2 arms, and then a vertical line running down. And this vertical line splits off into 2 different directions like that, toward each of his legs. And then there's going to be another horizontal line in the middle there. And that one is also going to split off at the end. And like that. Let me darken these lines so they show up on camera a little bit better. And again, this is looking pretty messy. It's looking a little bit rough, but here pretty soon I'm going to go in with this marker and clean it all up, make the lines look nice, and then erase all of this drawing that's underneath of it, and you'll actually be able to really see what we've come up with. So let me go in and add a tail, and what we're going to do is start right here where the leg meets the shell, and we'll draw a line going out like this and curving, and it's going to be pretty wide at the edge, or excuse me, toward the end his tail is going to be pretty wide because it's kind of like a squirrel tail, I guess. That's where he would get his name from. So we're going to start right here where his leg meets his shell, and then curve out almost like a question mark, and it's going to curve around like that in a little spiral, and then draw another line connecting back towards his leg. Okay, so that is basically him done. So like I said, I am going to go in with a marker here, and I'm going to clean up all of these lines that we used to draw Squirtle with. They're just kind of temporary lines that I like to blot in real quickly, or just kind of sketch in really quickly, just to give us the basic shape. And then I like to go in with a marker, or trace over it on a new sheet of paper with a pencil again, and really clean up the lines and make it look nice. So that's what I'm going to do right now, and then you'll get a real good look at our finished Squirtle. So I'm going to do that in time lapse, and I will be right back. Okay guys, well there he is, completely done. He looks pretty happy, right? Looks like he's having a good day. Better day than I usually have. Oh, and fun fact, this is actually the second time I had to record this video. The first time around, I went through the whole thing, did the entire drawing, and forgot to hit record on my camera. So that is fun. But anyway, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, to make sure that you catch all my future tutorials and videos coming up. And give it a thumbs up because that helps out a lot. And thanks for watching. As usual, I'll see you in the next one.